Hi everyone, Sean and Catherine here with Monorail Central. Today we're going to be reviewing our experience at the newly reopened 1900 Park Fair. 1900 Park Fair is located at the Grand Floridian. It is a completely reimagined experience from what it's been before. Here you are dining with Wishmakers. So Cinderella, Tiana, Mirabel, and Aladdin are walking around during your meal. It's buffet style, and I really enjoyed that. We haven't done a buffet in a while in Walt Disney World. You also get a card that you're going to write a wish on at the beginning of your meal. At some point during your meal, Jiminy Cricket is going to help you make your wish, and it will come true.
1900 Park Fair is $66 per adult and $41 per child, or if you're using the Disney Dining Plan, it is one table service credit per person. Pricing is exactly the same as it would be at Chef Mickey's over at Disney's Contemporary Resort. It is ever so slightly less than Akershus. We tried most of everything that was available during the buffet our night, so here are our thoughts on the food and service at 1900 Park Fair.
To start off my experience at 1900 Park Fair, I had the peel and eat shrimp. These are pretty good. They're your average shrimp and cocktail sauce. Nothing special. I do want to make a little bit of a disclaimer about the peel and eat shrimp. They say that they are ready to eat, deveined. However, my experience was that every single shrimp that I picked up was not deveined. Personally, it doesn't really bother me when they're not deveined, but I know some people, they can't eat shrimp that is not deveined. So if that's you, I would kind of take more of a look at the shrimp that you're grabbing. Not every piece was deveined, but there were some shrimp that were deveined.
All the shrimp that I got were deveined. I didn't have that problem, but I definitely did see Catherine's shrimp had that problem. I thought they were good. They were pretty good for buffet shrimp, seasoned nicely. Whatever they do season them in, though, did stain our fingers for the rest of the night. Like, even after I washed my hands, they were still kind of tinted this orangey red color. But they were good. Our next stop on the buffet was the salad station. You had two greens options. You had romaine lettuce or mixed greens, and then you had an assortment of different dressings and toppings and vegetables, cheeses. I had the romaine and I put a little bit of Caesar dressing on it, croutons. Everything that was on the salad bar was fresh and crisp. You know, it's a salad bar. You really can't mess that up unless you're buying really bad produce. And then after the green salads, you had your cold salads. You had an assortment with potato salad, broccoli slaw, you had a fruit salad, a kale salad, and then a couscous salad. I tried a little bit of everything off of this station, minus the potato salad. Everything here was good. The kale salad was, a little bit dry. The fruit salad was all fresh. The broccoli slaw was probably my favorite from this station. Nice and tangy. Didn't really have much of a broccoli taste, but still a really good accompaniment to everything else that we had. The couscous salad was also surprisingly good for me. I don't really like couscous, but I tried it for the sake of review, and I would get it again.
Up next on the buffet, they had the breads and cheeses. They have a regular French roll. They have whipped butter to go with that. They had assorted crackers, different types of cheeses, grapes, and then they had a focaccia with sun-dried tomatoes and herbs, which I thought was the best thing that we had all night. I think I had like 4 or 5 pieces.
Oh, that focaccia was really, really good. Like, something that I wouldn't expect to be good at a buffet. I would go back just for this focaccia bread.
Up next, they had the carving station with a prime rib and an oven-roasted turkey. I had both of those. The prime rib was really good. I did really enjoy it. Sometimes I don't like prime rib because I think it's a little too rare for my taste, but this was a really good prime rib. The turkey was okay. It was really dry, and I did put some gravy that they had on the side on it, and it still didn't really help.
I can attest to the prime rib being really good. Typically, buffet prime ribs at Disney, they're not really, the best of cut. They're usually really fatty and chewy. This was cooked really well. I would say it's buffet safe. It's, it's cooked a little bit more than rare, medium rare. It's a little more in that medium area, but it was a good medium. They had a horseradish cream sauce that went with it. That was good. And then Catherine said it was an oven roasted turkey. When I looked at it at the buffet, I didn't think it was an oven roasted turkey at all. It was so dry, in fact, that it looked like roasted pork. I didn't even want to attempt to try it because I personally don't like pork. That just goes to show how kind of hit or miss that carving station was.
To accompany the carving station, they had mashed potatoes, au jus, and steak sauce. I had the au jus with the turkey, and it was pretty good. It didn't really help the turkey itself. I didn't have the steak sauce, but I would just assume that it's a regular run-of-the-mill steak sauce. Can't really attest to it. Can't say it's not good. Can't say it's good because I didn't try it. However, the mashed potatoes were to die for.
They were really good mashed potatoes.
They were really good mashed potatoes. Good consistency. Mm-hmm. They weren't too, thin, but they weren't too thick and with lumps.
See, I like my mashed potatoes with lumps. If you remember our Vero Beach review, those were really good mashed potatoes, and those were quick service. And then even at California Adventure at Flo's V8 Cafe out in Disneyland, those mashed potatoes are good. Mm-hmm. These were really good too for buffet mashed potatoes. They weren't runny, they weren't overfilled with butter. Very good seasoned mashed potatoes. The au jus was au jus, and the steak sauce I didn't try. Steak sauce isn't my thing. So the next station on the buffet had 2 side options and one of the main entree options. You had honey glazed carrots, green beans, and then a baked salmon in a saffron lemon butter. The salmon was pretty good.
Salmon was really good. I love salmon. I've gotten great salmons at Disney. I've gotten terrible salmons at Disney. But this was one of the best salmons I've had, especially the saffron butter sauce.
Yeah, that saffron butter sauce really made that dish. They had little cherry tomatoes in it too, so that added a little bit of acidity to it. And then the honey glazed carrots were really good too. Perfectly cooked, not undercooked, not crunchy carrots. Almost like you could cut it with a spoon. And the green beans were green beans. Nothing special about the green beans.
I don't normally like green beans, but I liked those green beans. Up next on the buffet, they had macaroni and cheese and roasted garlic sausage with tomatoes, herbs, and braised cabbage.
This is every adult's favorite section at the buffet, if you are still a kid at heart. Unlimited mac and cheese. This mac and cheese was Disney quick service mac and cheese, but in a good way, because it was unlimited and you can go back for as much as you want. I kind of expected a little bit more from a buffet, but at the same time, it's Disney. I know what they do. They make their mass-produced mac and cheese. It was good. Nothing special about quick service mac and cheese. The sausage was good. It had a little bit of a kick to it. Nothing major. When you're eating sausage, you kind of expect that it might have a slight kick. The cabbage that was with it was a little bit undercooked, I found. Kind of had a bit of a crunch to it. When cabbage is cooked, it should be nice and soft and buttery. I would eat it again.
Up next, they had the Impossible sausage with zucchini noodles and curry roasted chicken. I had the curry roasted chicken. It was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just your run-of-the-mill mass-produced chicken. The curry roasted part of it was pretty interesting. I don't normally like things with curry on them, so I kind of took a leap at this, and I will say the curry flavor wasn't really overpowering. It was just a nice spice on top of the chicken.
The curry chicken was really juicy, I would say. It wasn't like an overcooked chicken like the turkey at the carving station was. I have to agree, the curry flavoring wasn't really overpowering. It just didn't have a lot of flavor that I was expecting to be there for a curry roasted chicken. It was a little bit bland, but you can still kind of taste the curry in it. Not something I would get again, but something I was glad to try. Now, I tried some of this Impossible sausage that they had in this portion of the buffet, and this wasn't good. Disney has this thing recently with their plant-based options where they just make it spicy enough to the point where you can't really taste anything else in the dish. So that really put me off on this. I had one bite and I couldn't go back for a second one. It was just a little too hot for me. If we go back to 1900 Park Fair, I would skip this section on the buffet, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really trying to expand your palate and you want to try something new. Who knows? You might like it, but I don't.
The next section of the buffet was soups and rice. The rice was just a plain white rice. I like white rice. I grew up with it. Wasn't overcooked, wasn't undercooked. It was just run-of-the-mill, plain white rice. After the rice, you have Tiana's Gumbo, which has spicy andouille sausage and a chicken noodle soup. I had both of these soups. I've never had gumbo before this, and I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty good, even level of spice. Chicken noodle soup, again, run-of-the-mill chicken noodle soup.
I tried both of the soups too. I've had gumbos before. Not really my thing. The Tiana's Gumbo was new with this recent retheme of 1900 Park Fair, so I figured I had to try it. I wouldn't get it again. You know, it was a little too thick for my liking. And the chicken noodle soup, in my opinion, was not good at all. I don't understand how Disney always seems to make the chicken in their wet soup as dry as possible. It's such a stark contrast between the broth that you get, which, need I say, was flavorless broth. But the chicken that they put inside this soup was dry as a bone. And I don't get it. It's sitting in wet broth. How do you do that? In my opinion, the white rice, of all things, was the best part of this section of the buffet. I wouldn't go for the soups again unless maybe they replaced the chicken noodle soup with something else, and then I would try that. As part of the buffet, there are 2 separate sections on either end with different options for kids. I tried a little bit because, as a kid, I lived off of peanut butter and jelly and chicken nuggets. That's all I ate. So, if anyone knows anything about kids' food, it's me.
I will say, the really cute thing about the buffet is that the kids' sections of the buffet are at a shorter counter level than everything else, so they can walk right up, see what they want to get, and grab it. The sections for the kids are on 2 opposite ends of the buffet, and they have different things on each side. So if you have little ones, make sure that they go to both spots for the buffet, otherwise they're going to miss out on an entire half of what they have for the kids.
Now on the right side of the buffet is where you're going to find your chicken breast nuggets and some flatbread pizzas that they prepare. When we were there, they just had a cheese pizza and a pepperoni pizza. I tried the pepperoni, and it was good. Better than Pizza Rizzo. And then the chicken breast nuggets are just your typical chicken breast nuggets. You can get the same thing in an adult portion at quick services around Walt Disney World. It's really nothing special, but for your kids, they'll enjoy it.
On the other side of the buffet, they had a pasta station. So they had pasta with olive oil, turkey meatballs, marinara sauce, and some corn. They also had Parmesan cheese that they could sprinkle on top. And this was just regular pasta. I didn't have the turkey meatballs, so I don't know how they are.
I didn't get a chance to try the turkey meatballs either. Just looking at them, they looked okay. I'm sure, you know, if you have an adventurous kid out there, they'll like the turkey meatballs. Buttered corn was buttered corn. I don't necessarily see why it was isolated to the kids section. I think, you know, adults would have enjoyed this just as much. And then the other thing in the kids section, which was a little weird, it was in between the corn and the adults peel and eat shrimp, was this big container of Gummy Bears. Not in the dessert section, just on the regular buffet. Which, you know, if I'm a parent of a little kid and they see Gummy Bears as part of the regular buffet, they're eating Gummy Bears for dinner.
That's all they're eating.
There's no stopping them. You're at Disney.
Even though we were the first seating, the tower of Gummy Bears was half empty when we got up to the buffet. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty certain there were kids that just took a bowl and had Gummy Bears.
There were. I saw them as we were being seated, and our server was coming by to help us out. And that was the first thing that the kids saw, and the first thing that the kids took back to their tables.
Finally, we have the desserts that are available at 1900 Park Fair. This was my favorite section. I had every dessert that they had to offer, and they were all so good. To start off our review of the dessert selection at 1900 Park Fair, it's the Grand Floridian strawberry soup, what 1900 Park Fair was known for before its reimagining. They brought it back. I really enjoyed it. You can put fresh strawberries on top. They had whipped cream to go on top. I really enjoyed this. I love strawberries. I hadn't had the strawberry soup before, so I was really excited to try it.
I hadn't eaten at 1900 Park Fair in close to 20 years before this review, So I don't remember if I ever had the strawberry soup. I hear awesome things about it online and other videos. To me, it was just over-glorified strawberry yogurt. It tasted like a strawberry Trix yogurt to me. I don't get it. There's a local market to us that serves strawberry soup in the summertime. Kind of similar to Grand Floridian's, but it's a little more runny. I much prefer that over what they serve here at 1900 Park Fair. It was good. I mean, if you like strawberries, you'll like the strawberry soup, but I was expecting it to be a little more of a soup consistency than a yogurt consistency.
Next, they had mini vanilla cupcakes with some star sprinkles on top. They also had a toasted coconut cake and chocolate chip cookies. The vanilla cupcakes were your plain vanilla cupcakes. You can get them from the grocery store and they taste exactly the same. The toasted coconut cake had a passion fruit custard and hibiscus cream on top. It was pretty good. I'm not really a big coconut fan, so I tried it. Wouldn't go back for seconds of the cake. And then the chocolate chip cookies. They were hard.
Yeah. If you've ever been on a Disney cruise and you've had the chocolate chip cookies from Cookies 1 and Cookies 2 Barbecue on Castaway Cay, it was just like those cookies, except harder. They look soft in the pictures, but don't let that fool you. If you have fillings, beware. They were good cookies, don't get me wrong. If you've had dental work done or orthodontal work done, beware the cookies. They will hurt your teeth. And then on the other side of the buffet, there was another section with desserts. These desserts were a little more on the sweet side. This included the Grand Floridian Financier, which was an almond cake with sea salt caramel and toasted meringue. They had a fudge brownie with triple chocolate mousse, and then a lemon blueberry cheesecake. My favorite of these three was the lemon blueberry cheesecake. It was really good, like a really nice sweet and tart balance. Probably the best of the desserts that they had available that night, I would say.
I disagree. My favorite was the fudge brownie.
The fudge brownie was good. It's just, after a long day in the parks, chocolate's just not my thing. But it was good. And then the Grand Floridian Financier, that was okay. The tart was very dry. The meringue wasn't really that good, I would say.
It was nothing to write home about.
Yeah, there was nothing to write home about. It does come with a little Grand Floridian chocolate stamped piece on top, which was pretty cute. I would buy an entire bag of those little Grand Floridian chocolate pieces. Yeah, nothing to write home about. Best thing, in my opinion, on this section was the lemon blueberry cheesecake.
And the last dessert at 1900 Park Fair was the warm chocolate cake with a vanilla creme glace. These were really good, just really, really heavy. If you've had the molten lava cakes from Domino's, they are exactly that, just mini, but with the same amount of chocolate in one bite.
Yeah, these will make you feel not so great after a park day, but they were really good. Definitely you need that vanilla creme glace to cut down on that chocolatiness. It'll be a really good option in the dead of winter when it's a freezing cold 65 degrees in Florida. But in the summer, in May, when we were down, split one between 6 or 8 of you. So, all in all, for our dinner, it was $66 per person. There's no discounts available at the moment because this restaurant just reopened, so we weren't able to take advantage of annual pass or DVC discounts. Is it worth it?
I say yes.
I say no. I think there are much better deals you can get on property for a character buffet dinner. I think the least expensive one I saw was Crystal Palace at the Magic Kingdom. And in my experience, the food there is more consistent, but you could also go to Tusker House at Animal Kingdom for their buffet dinner. And the food quality there is consistently good. I wouldn't say anything at this buffet was gross, but there were a few options that I would not eat again. Would I come back? Maybe.
I'll go back. I really liked it. I thought there were a lot of good options. It is a small buffet, in my opinion, but the options there were great.
If you enjoyed this food review and would like to see more like this in the future, please be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Vacation Club, and Disney Cruise Line content, as well as more Walt Disney World Monorail Project content.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all real soon.